Hey, Miss Sislo, we back. Can you hear us? Can you see us? I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, I just turned the volume back up. Can you hear us? Can you see us?
Mm-mm. She said she can't hear.
Yeah, but that's because I had the volume down at first. So are we buffering at all? Like I said in the last live, I'm like even having problems with my cell phone. Like I don't know what's going on, but I looked online and they said there are some outages in our city, in our area. So I don't know what's that about. But anywho, I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we were. Hopefully everybody will be able to come back because I couldn't post no notification. You know, we just basically shut everything down and started back up. So, yeah. But you can see us perfect. Okay, awesome. Yeah, she was saying no to the outages around the area. But yeah, so where did we end off at? You guys remember where we ended off at? I think you were talking about some. Oh yeah, we were talking about the safe haven. You know how people be giving their kids up and stuff. Whatever happened to that? Because remember it like blew up, and I think people like figured that maybe that was not a good idea.
I think they finally got a control of it because I know here people was driving for miles around because we was one of the states, and they was like, I know if I remember correctly, you could take them to the hospital or the firehouse, and more people were dropping them children off left and right. Like, you got to go. Kids coming home from school, they like, what we do on them, but you got the wrong.
Yep. So, I mean, it was a good thing, but then it was also a bad thing because some people just wanted to be done with trying to raise children.
And they was abusing it. I'm sorry,
No, I was just going to say they was tired of raising their children and was trying to find a way out. And this was like illegal. You could drop them off. There was no consequences. You didn't go to court. You didn't go to... I mean, it was like no consequence. You just dropped their children off. And it was a good thing because some people needed somewhere else to go because their families couldn't take care of them. And then it was also a bad thing because they got overwhelmed with too many children to try to put in foster care.
Yeah, and I think it was where they was dropping them, like, not against teenagers and nothing like that, because sometimes it might have, the way things is going nowadays, it might have been for the better that God opened up that door and then, shut it like it was. Now, we looking at it like people, not looking at it like that, but what some people might have seen is where opportunity, I'm going to raise some kids, I ain't in trouble, let's go, whatever. But some of them children that was dropped off, it might have been for the better. And you know what? It might have been it might have saved a few lives, but there also, it was where, like Tanya said, it wasn't enough people to probably foster or adopt, because more people, and it's sad, but it's real, more people want a newborn or a child probably where they can still kind of, where they feel like it wouldn't be too hard to train, but anybody can be trained. But I mean, not trained, but like raised a certain kind of way. I mean, old habits are hard to break, but
I know what you're saying. Like some people, like when I was saying earlier that some of the kids that were giving up was around, they were almost grown, like about to graduate from high school, but they wasn't giving away their little kids. They was giving away the older ones, the 16 and 17-year-olds, and was keeping like the toddlers because I guess they felt like, okay, this child right here, he ain't listening, he doing this, he showing out, he on drugs, skipping school, whatever. We gonna give that one away. So a lot of that was going on, and that's why they ended it, because people were driving miles, like Sam said, to Omaha, because we were one of the safe haven states, and people were driving miles to drop their child off, and they showed them on the news. People was just dropping their kids off and walking away, and I was like, wow. But
a lot of children was like, what do we do? Why we here? Some kids would go to school in the morning, come home, probably to like their daily routine or whatever they was getting away with or whatever they had to do. Because it was kind of more of that it wasn't just like, not that the kids was bad. Some people was just like, oh Lord, I've been dealing with parents, and now it's opportunity. I don't get no trouble, no consequences. Oh, everybody must go.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, as far as like, you know, this situation where we're talking about this little girl, right now we don't know where she is. She's missing. She's been missing since late last week. Her name is Maleah Davis, 4-year-old little girl. The stepdad. Okay, now we know that there was some injuries done to this child in the past. The mother, she's claiming that there was never any abuse, but she has some severe head trauma, head injuries, and she had to go through, you know, more than several brain surgeries because of that. Now, Maleah has been missing since last week. I know a lot of y'all done heard about this. I've been seeing people talk about it. Again, according to her stepfather, Darren Vance, him and his 1-year-old son and Maleah, his stepdaughter, were abducted on the side of the road Friday night in Houston area by Hispanic males. Just trying to make sure I'm in the camera. By Hispanic males. And they're saying that they knocked him unconscious. And he said they knocked him unconscious at 9 p.m. at night.
On a Friday.
And he was unconscious till 6 p.m. on Saturday.
In and out of consciousness, right?
Yeah, he said he was in and out of consciousness.
Still.
Well, he said when he finally woke up Saturday evening. But he did say he was in and out of consciousness. And I guess he finally, like, totally woke up, you know, Saturday evening. Does that, I mean...
That don't add up to me. For the simple fact is, okay, 9 o'clock tonight, round about somewhere here now, you get knocked out, unconscious. You got a 4-year-old little girl. Yep. Could have been his daughter, biological stepdaughter, whatever. You got your son, could have been his stepson, which was his biological son. Okay, my thing where I'm having a hard time believing any of it is, okay, this little girl...
It don't add up, Louis.
Right. This little girl and this baby, 3 Hispanic males, and that's what make it bad for everybody. Now, I kind of know how I feel when they was always blaming it on black men. My thing is, okay, they could get probably just as much, if not more, for the 1-year-old. Just like I said, this goes back to like some jobs now that a lot of jobs are not making you go to school to get the training. They if they see if you're a good worker and they look at your work history, they trying to get you in there and get you like a clean slate. Okay, you tell me that they wouldn't. I mean, I'm glad they didn't. Don't get me wrong, but they just took the 4-year-old little girl and left this baby and a man knocked out on the side of the road. Okay, saying that they did do that. Nobody came by. At one point, this baby had to cry something.
1 year
and
old.
1 year old, I'm sure it could do
on the
something.
Side of the road.
In Texas, right?
Almost 24 hours. This was in hold on, here it is. It's in okay, they live in Houston. They live in Houston, Texas.
And ain't this time of the year the weather a certain kind of temperature?
It's kind of warm down there right now, right?
Yeah. Texas is never really a freezing cold state. I know they've been getting snow. I've heard that, but I'm just saying, you know, I mean, not I want anything to happen to the child or nothing like that. And I pray to God as a sister, wherever she is, she comes back home safe and alive.
I hope she do.
But I'm thinking like, okay, you got these 2 kids. You get out to stop for a tire. Not saying that it happened, you know, none of it. Not saying nobody didn't approach the man because I know.
Yeah, he said he was changing a tire, Kalui, and it was 2 children, his 4-year-old stepdaughter and his own 1-year-old son. And they left the son. This is what he's saying. This is what he's trying to insinuate. They left the son with him. Left a 1-year-old child who can't fend for themselves with their father who's knocked out.
But they take a 4-year-old girl. I'm just saying, to me, what the logical thing or whatever you would think would be, they would take them both.
Yeah.
The man ain't right. He
Or
just got
kill
a
the
big
man
dick.
and
Yeah.
kill the child. I mean, you wouldn't want that to happen, but it's just not making any sense. Like, why you leave? Of course, the little 1-year-old can't say, "Oh, it was them. It was him." They can't pick him out in a lineup. But you leave the man alive
that saw you, and you leave his kid. Not that they knew, because now they probably, if it did happen, you would probably roll up on the scene figuring both of them are his or something.
Right. And then he was in and out of consciousness. He said he had came in and out of consciousness while they was in the car with him. So that means, I'm like...
He definitely seen something. If you didn't see their face, he saw a shirt. Nowadays, forensics is way easier and all that stuff to match. They got so much stuff that, I mean, you could say and they can sketch out and I mean, I'm thinking like if they was gonna steal a child, one or both, why would they leave this man if they didn't knock? If they knocked him out, they know. I mean, I don't know if they checked to see if he was alive or they thought he was just they had killed him or what. But more like if they was up to something, even if they did,
I would think they would have shot him.
Yeah,
if they were trying to get away with kidnapping, or murder, because God forbid the child is dead. God forbid the child. I hope she's alive.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would they knock you out? I mean, somebody who's really gonna kill, steal a child, they not trying to leave no witnesses. They not trying to take no chances. Knocking you out, that just means they punched you really hard or hit you with something. You would think that they would shoot you.
And that's a spot he could have did it himself.
Strangle you, knock you out and choke you to death, or I don't know. The story is really...
It don't add up. My thing is about this here. I'm thinking, this is how I feel about it. Okay, he get it something wrong with his tire. He get out to check it, change it or whatever. Yeah. You got a 4-year-old little girl, regardless of what she is to him, got a 1-year-old boy in the car, regardless of what it is. Okay, somebody roll up on you. And they could be up to no good. Mm-hmm. They force you back in the truck, or however they all end up in this truck or whatever, with these children. You tell me that if their intentions were to even just say a word just to take the little girl, they just gonna knock this man out. Take this girl, leave this baby, say that's what they whatever.
Yeah, let's say this did really happen, yeah.
But still, okay, when they knocked him out, I just think myself, they wouldn't have just knocked him out. Okay, they knocked him out. It's 3 of them.
3 dudes, and they just knocked him, just doink.
They just knocked him out. Don't check.
He's out cold, bro. If they is Mexicans, he's out cold, bro. Let's go take the little girl, bro. Let's leave the little boy, bro. We just take the little girl, bro. Come on now.
They don't say both them children.
It don't make it make sense.
So I was like, y'all just gonna take the big girl. Don't take that baby and that girl. Not that you don't want that, but I'm just saying. At
because
the end
if
of
it's
the day,
like
this man
stealing, if they like, what do you call that? Like when they kidnap kids, what do they call it? Trafficking. Why wouldn't they take the 1-year-old?
They don't get more money for him.
You know what I'm saying? Because the younger the children is, from what we know or seen in movies on the news and stuff, the younger the child is, the easier it is for them to raise them to do what they want, act how they want, influence them, and so I don't know. What do y'all think? Have y'all seen the story? Let me read a little bit more, and then I'm gonna let Sam get back into this. But let me read y'all a little bit more, okay? Bowens also addressed Maleah's head injury. The Houston Police Sergeant Mark Holberg has said Maleah has had multiple brain surgeries, including one in recent months. The surgeries were intended to help an injury heal, an injury that the mother claims did not come from her being abused by they care, right? And then keep in mind the kids were taken away by CPS last year. And then Bowen says she took her daughter to West Houston Medical Center last July because she was lethargic, but nurses didn't examine her head. And then weeks later, on July 28th of last year, Maleah fell while she was sitting at the table eating by herself. That's what her mother said. She fell. So last year she would have been like 3, right? So at 3 years old, last year, her mother claims she fell while sitting at the table eating by herself. When she falls, she came around the couch and, that must be a misprint, a typo. It should be when she fell, she came around the couch. She had a deep gash in her head and it freaked me out. Like, what did she fall on? Did she fall on some cement? Okay, she fell out the chair by eating. They said she was eating at the table by herself. She fell. Then she got up, came around the couch where her mom was. She had a deep gash in her head and it freaked her out, said her mom. Her mom said she rushed her to the doctors again, and doctors discharged Maleah without performing a CT scan. 5 days later, in August, again this is last year, Maleah suffered a seizure, her mother said sobbingly. Maleah was taken again to a children's hospital. They did a CT scan, and that's when they told her there was bleeding on the left-hand side of her brain. At that point, it was a life or death situation. So the doctors operated on the little girl. A few days later, officials with CPS arrived at the home because, it's like, okay, it's not adding up to CPS or to the authorities, evidently. Right. And they said they didn't find anything because, we're not those kind of people. That's what the mother said. But that month, CPS they had some reason and placed Maleah and her 2 brothers with relatives. An arrangement that continued until the judge ordered them return home in February. So they were returned back home, all the children, this year in February. Now the police are on the hunt for a trio of suspects that Vince, the stepdad, described to them. Reported they're driving a blue pickup truck with the young Maleah in the truck. Maleah is about 3 feet tall. She weighs 30 to 40 pounds. She was last seen wearing a light blue Under Armour jacket, blue jeans, gray Under Armour tennis shoes with pink and white details. And she had a pink bow in her hair. Now, here's everything we know about the young girl and how she went missing. So y'all listen to this, okay? Vince told detectives that him, Maleah, and his son were on their way to the airport Friday night to pick up Maleah's mother, who was flying in from Massachusetts. While on the road, the stepdad said he heard a popping noise like a pop tire and pulled over to check on it. That's when a blue pickup truck pulled up behind the car and 2 Hispanic males got out. This is according to Vince, the stepdad. One of the men commented, "Maleah looks very nice, looks very sweet," according to Vince's account. The other man hit Vince in the head and he lost consciousness, he told police. He said the abductors hit him in the head. And then at some point when he woke up, he said he was in the back of the truck with Maleah and her brother and 3 Hispanic males were also in the vehicle. So he's trying to say that when he got out to check a tire, these Mexicans, they put him, while he was passed out, dragged him to their truck with the kids. He told the police he was in and out of consciousness until about 6 p.m. Saturday, so that's almost 24 hours later, when he woke up on Highway 6 with his 1-year-old son, and Maleah was not there. Vince said he walked to a nearby hospital where he received treatment and reported her missing. The stepfather's story has a lot of blanks, said Sergeant Holbrook, but he said he's hoping the public can help them fill in those blanks.
I am too. This sounds like
it's crazy.
Made up to me.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. But the police are looking for a blue truck. An Amber Alert describes the car as a blue crew cab Chevy pickup truck, possibly a 2010 model. the car Vince was driving was a silver Nissan Altima belonging to Maleah's mother, is also missing. A traffic camera captured an image of the Altima driving through an intersection in the Houston suburb of Sugar Land just before 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. The image captures the Nissan Altima on Saturday during the time Vince said he was in and out of consciousness. So this is his, okay, see this where the police probably are kind of confused. Like, okay, you said these guys pulled up in a truck. You was in and out of consciousness. You woke up in their truck. Your kids was in the truck too. Your car was gone. So you're trying to say that while you were in the truck, somebody else pulled up and stole your car and the little girl, and then you woke up on the side of the road with your 1-year-old son on the side of the highway with a 1-year-old.
Yeah, that's too much. That's fishy.
I'm like, this is weird. And then they said his car was seen on camera 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon, and he said he woke up around 6 p.m. 3 hours later.
That's what I don't get. Okay, so now let me. This
Please
is not
speak
really
on
making
it,
no
sis.
sense.
Please speak on it.
Because, okay, between 9 Friday night and 6 Saturday, this man been in trucks, cars, on the side of the road. Okay, I don't care about nothing else, but this is what the deal to me sound like. This man is lying because, okay, you wakes up on the side of the road at what? Just been on the side of the road, period. I don't care when he wake up.
With a 1-year-old.
With a 1-year-old, this baby ain't crawled off nowhere. I mean, even if the baby crawled off and went and laid over in the,
on the side road, on the side of the road, into the ditch.
Yeah.
I mean,
you mean to tell me you can put 1-year-old
because a 1-year-old
outside?
Can crawl and they can walk a little bit. Some of them can walk a little bit.
You mean
Unless
to
it
tell
was
me
strapped in a. They didn't say if the baby was strapped in a car seat or not. But still, if it was strapped in a car seat on the side of the road, you would think somebody...
That's really going to draw attention. Quicker than the baby. I mean, it could be brush or whatever, all that stuff.
Kalui says she wonders if any neighbors saw the girl prior to this day on a day. I wonder. Mm-hmm. You gotta push play. It's on silent, right? Yeah, so silent. Yeah, you can see her. Yeah. And then Kalui said, I see this all too often sometimes when men or women get into a relationship with someone who had kids from a prior relationship. They may not be able to handle care. Yeah, that's what Sam was saying. Yep, that's what Sam was saying.
Cause there's one where this lady, it was one on there on the Facebook where they showed them videos where a lady and her boyfriend did something to her daughter, and the dad was the biological dad was in the process of trying to get the little girl. And they were saying how the little girl was a certain age, and she only was a certain amount of weight, and that the mama knew that the man was beating the little girl, and the poor baby just didn't stand a chance in the world. Mm-hmm. Like I said, sometimes they say God don't put more than we can handle, but sometimes people, I think us as humans, we take it and we take that. And we use it the way we can to work in our best benefit. Like how they saying, the mom knew, but she was scared to say something. Ain't no way in the world, I don't care what a man doing or what a woman doing or whatever. If you ever able to leave home and your child is getting beat, you getting beat, or somebody getting beat, if you ever get broken away from this person, that's like they say God don't put them more on us than we can handle. God send you signs and everything like that. Yeah.
I'd rather die trying to get away than to stay in an abusive relationship where I'm getting abused or me and my kids are getting abused. I'd rather die trying to survive another day. I refuse to have my children get beat or molested or anything like that just because
I could done something about it. Because this is what I say about any of it is. I say things about like...
You right, Kalui.
If you in a relationship, and as I said, male or female could be the abuser. you think that whoever just beating this child, they ain't beating the partner?
Right.
I said they whooping on everybody. I'm sorry. Even if it's verbal.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to have no ounce of no love, just pure straight hatred. Not towards the kid, but just in period.
In general.
To watch somebody
evil
beat yours like that. Yo, you know.
Ain't no way, because
or you
I'm that
join
mama.
in too. A lot of them join in.
I'm that mama. I'm telling you, you can ask my kids, you can ask anybody who know me. I do not play with my kids. Ain't no man, ain't no woman, ain't nobody gonna beat on my children or abuse them. And I know, no way. And I always been telling my kids, me and my son was talking about this the other day, the youngest one. Like, all through their life, I always ask them all the time. Like, all the time. Yeah, has anybody ever touched you? Has anybody ever act like they do? The coaches at school, if they ever look like they want to. I mean, and my sons will be laughing at me. Like, they still crack up about that today because they don't get it. And I'm like, when you have children, you will get it. You will get it. You don't have kids yet. So it's like, they be like, Mom, why are you always asking us no, no, and no? Or we would tell you, or we would fight them. Or my sons, ain't nobody gonna mess with me. Shoot, I whoop they butt. I do this, you know. But
they got ways. Like, a lot of times, you know, some kids, when they I call it rock you, like get you in a position of where you easy to let your guard down. Like, I never was the type, and I never had this going. My kids been in sports and stuff too. Yeah, but all that staying the night at the coach house and ain't nothing that, baby. We got to get up. If we got to get up now and drive over there.
Don't you know what, Sam?
We always gonna go together.
Your nephew will tell you that one of their coaches, and I'm not gonna say his name because I'm just not. But he's a great guy. It's not like he did anything. He's a really great guy. But anyway, both of my sons went to the same school. They're 4 years apart. So when one of them started high school, the other one was still in grade school. When the other one finished high school, the other one was finishing junior high. And when the other one graduated from high school, the other one was a freshman in high school. So they exactly 4 years and like 2 months apart, something like that. And so the oldest son, he went to the same school, so he had the same coaches as my youngest son. And my oldest son will tell you, basically they was both going to this high school, a total of 8 years combined, right? From the beginning of 9th grade year for my oldest son, this coach, he's a great coach. And he would have like events at his home, like they would have like Madden tournaments, NBA 2K tournaments, you know, just doing different things, bowling tournaments. They barbecue, they grill, especially after a game or after, you know, the season. It wasn't like a every day or every week thing. It was like, you know, after a good game or after a season or, you know, something like that. And I would tell them all the time, if you ever feel comfortable over there, you better call me right away. You better, if somebody ever touch you, you better do whatever you have to do to get them off of you. Do whatever you have to do to survive, to come home. I'd rather for you to come home. Even I used to tell my sons, if you have to fake it to make it. And it's sad that you have to do that, but these are things that you have to teach your children. And too many children continually get abused because the parents are not talking about it. Like we said in our last hood show, a lot of people back then in the 70s and 80s, a lot of people didn't talk to their children about that. My mama didn't. She never told me and my two brothers, if somebody do this, or let me know if somebody do this, or, you know, we were never told that stuff, and we really didn't find out about things like that till, you know, later when we saw it on TV and TV shows, you know, even shows like Bill Cosby, where they would talk, you know, certain shows like that, we see it on there, we'd be like, what the what? What? You know? So I've been telling my sons this forever. And my son, my youngest one, told me the other day, I promise you, me and my sons talk about everything. And he told me the other day, he's like, Mom, because we were talking about that. I was like, he's 18. Boy, ain't nobody ever touched you. And now it's like joking because I've been doing it for so many years. So now I'll be like, boy, you would tell me, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at him, he's like, Mom, come on now. He said, you know what, Mom, the craziest part, you keep going through this with us, was the fact that my older brother used to ask him the same stuff. He was around the same people, around the same coaches, around the same teachers, and nothing happened to him. He never said anything happened to him. So why would you think something would happen to me? And I'm like, because you never know. You never know. It can be the pastor, the priest, the teacher, the mailman, the babysitter. I mean, your brother, your cousin, your uncle. Come on now. We already know, right? It can be anybody.
It can be anywhere, but
anybody.
You know, sometimes I heard this from people like pastors and too. They always say stuff about like your boyfriend or your girlfriend or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you
been
right,
like
single by yourself, you do want that, but then it's almost like if you bring this person in your home
and
you
exactly
think it's
what
right,
you're saying.
And then something happened, and then you be like,
and you feel guilty. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of people are single, and I've heard people say this before. Like, I'm not getting a relationship till my sons or my daughters is grown. You know what? Somebody told me this story. This lady had told me this story how when they were growing up, her mom, when she had like boyfriends who spent the night or stayed in the house or whatnot, at night she would lock her daughter's doors. She would lock their doors. She had locks on the outside of their door, not just on the inside, because like most people got locks on the inside of their bedroom. She had padlocks, like with the keys, on the outside of each of her kids. And I'm thinking, so if a fire or something broke out,
like, so
and your child is 2 floors
house
up,
that bad, you locking your children in the room? No,
I swear, I heard it.
Let me tell y'all something. And I ain't gonna say no name, but I used to live in these apartments. And this girl moved up there. And I think I went to school with her and some family. Anyway, we weren't like buds or nothing like that, but we knew of
like
each other.
Like associates or something?
And one night she knocked on the door, and my son come and get me. He said, somebody at the door, Mom. I goes to the door. What you doing? And I'm thinking always, because when we was at there, it was bar and everything. They brought sweet without sugar. She says to me, you seem pretty nice. Can you do me a favor? And I was like, first of all, what? Can I leave my purse over here? I was like, what? Ain't no money or nothing in it.
I'm about to say some money in it.
It ain't no money or nothing in it, but she has some credit cards and her food stamp card. And she was gonna have some company. And I'm letting her talk. And I was like, you can't leave your purse in your house. I don't want, if we get too drunk, high, or whatever they was gonna be doing, I don't want to wake up and my purse gone. I said,
wow.
What? No. In the end, I didn't end up letting the lady do it, but I'm just thinking to myself, okay, so you take your purse over somebody else, it's because you went to school with me or you see me before.
Because you don't trust this ninja.
But you rather leave your purse at my house. I don't know who I'm going to have up in there if I would have been that stupid.
Right.
To have this man come over and do whatever you think you gonna get. Nah, I said, I ain't getting in that. I didn't care. It could have been whoever. I ain't messing with that. Cause you could tell me there wasn't nothing in there.
Something come
I
out
could look in there with you and inventory.
And she up there knocking at your door talking about, I had $25 in the bottom of my purse. No.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. She said, if you had to worry, that's a red flag already.
Thank you, Louie. Thank you.
I know she tell me about it all the time, and I laugh, but like, as I'm sitting here thinking about it now, it's been over like a while. Like I think my youngest wasn't even in school yet, or if he wasn't barely in school. And I remember he was because he was going over his dad. That's what it was. And my oldest boy came, and I said, "You gonna have somebody in your house?" And I always talk to my oldest son, because we went through basically everything together. But I remember telling my son, I said, and sometimes when we think about it, we laugh, but I'm like to myself, you gonna have somebody in your house that you can't even trust me your credit card. I know she put some credit cards in there. And nowadays, you can video and
tell you
do all that stuff, but I'm just thinking to myself, I wouldn't have nobody in my house that I couldn't trust that they gonna steal from me or not. Okay, so your purse, what about I never went up in a unit or nothing, but I'm just wondering if they had TV, VCR, children got toys worth something or anything. I'm like,
flat screen. We gonna take the flat screen. Forget the purse.
Did she had to pack up the house and just what? Anything what they call it, cash and carry, anything like that. She had to get rid of. She got rid of everything. But she did no lie, y'all. This lady came to my door. I remember because we always went out the back because that's where the mailbox was at. No lie, this lady asked me could she leave her purse at my house because she didn't want to wake up and her purse was gone. I'm like, either something happened already before, or she just got a random or something. I don't know, but I just like, purpose of me and my all three of us lived there, but me and my oldest two lived there alone. Y'all wouldn't believe some of the stuff that I saw for women having men come, where they would have like what triggered it. This is when you said how the lady would like the children in the room. Mm-hmm. Kids couldn't come downstairs. Mm-hmm. People asked me how long I was gonna be outside. Can they kids play with my help? Excuse me, Hex, no. You better take them out. I don't know no.
So they can have some male company.
I said,
can you babysit for like an hour? That's all y'all need?
No, there wasn't no can play. Can
my kids play with your kids?
Can they sit here with y'all for a little bit? Where you going?
They only need 1 hour. But let me tell you something.
To me about something. Nope, take them with you.
I can't remember if I told you all this story before, but if I did, forgive me. Maybe somebody didn't hear it. But when Sam was talking about the purse, okay, I remember, and I was this was before I had children, and remember those apartments? They now turned them into some kind of social services thing. I think on 48th Sprague. Remember, they like 6 stories high. You can see them from 8th Street. Yeah, okay.
I know what you're talking about.
They used to be apartments. Right. They down in the cut. Like, the only reason why you going to be down in that neighborhood is because you live in that neighborhood, because it was on a dead-end street. And it was deep at the bottom of a hill. Because all those nice houses over there. Yeah, you couldn't see them
because they started clearing out all that stuff.
So they clearing out all the trees in the apartments. Those apartments.
I never knew what them was.
Yes.
I've seen them, but I never.
I used to stay over there, and I remember when I stayed there. It was around the time where I didn't have nowhere to stay, and I was just staying over different people's house with friends, relatives. I was homeless. So when people talk about being homeless, I'll be like, I know all about it. I was young and I was homeless. And this lady who used to go to our church, she had co-signed for me, her niece, and like 3 other people, all from the church, to get an apartment in this building. The building wasn't all that. As a matter of fact, it wasn't all that so much that my rent, was only $250. Can you believe that? Mm-hmm. Even back then, $250 for an apartment, that was cheap. Mm-hmm. So when I say it was the hood, it was the hood. And one day, speaking of the purse story that Samantha was telling y'all about, when she said this lady didn't trust people in her house with her purse, I had actually came home from work. one day, jumped in the shower. You know how you go in the bathroom, you take off your clothes. If you got money, whatever on you in your pockets, you put it, somewhere on the sink, on the back of the toilet, on a stand that holds your bathroom stuff in your bathroom, Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. It was payday. I just got paid, and my money was in my pocket. I just came from the bank, and I put it somewhere over the sink in the bathroom. And I took my shower. And, when you're home by yourself, you don't, rush to do things like, let me put my money away. Let me put,
Mm-hmm.
because you're home by yourself, especially when you stay by yourself. And so I had left out the bathroom. I had went in my room, changed, put on clothes, deodorant, all that. It was the weekend. I'm ready to, go out, get lit, whatever. And I get a knock at the door. And in comes some friends of mine that I've been knowing them since junior high school. So they were people that I knew, but they had friends with them that I really didn't know. And anyway, make the long story short, they had knocked on the door, and I totally forgot, about the money because just not thinking about it because I'm at my own home. And I had totally forgot about the money in the bathroom, and I was out there and we was kicking it, we was drinking. We was kicking it. My homegirls was over, from down the street, and my friends came over, and they were guys who had came over that I basically grew up with. And matter of fact, I knew them before junior high because we used to go to church together when we was in grade school. So I've been knowing them for a while. And they came over, and one of the guys asked to use the bathroom. I still wasn't thinking about that money in the bathroom. Went to use the bathroom, and immediately after that, he said, hey, y'all, you know what? I just got a phone call. I got to go. My baby mama, he made up some kind of story. I can't remember if it was baby mama, somebody. I got to go. We got to go right now. And the dudes was like, oh, we got to go? And he was like, yeah, we got to go right now. I'm still not thinking about that money. They leave. Everybody else leave. And mind you, that was the only person that went to the bathroom. And then, 10 minutes later, I'm just around the house doing whatever, and it just hit me. My money in the bathroom. Somebody went to use the bathroom. This person came out the bathroom ready to go. Man, when I say I hauled ass to the bathroom, and I saw my money. It was still up there, but when I counted it, it was $100 short. And when I asked the guy about it, no, I would never do that. We go way back, 4 flats on the Cadillac. You know what?
That's about right.
Man, ain't got no money, and it ain't like this is somebody who you would think would steal, somebody who is broke, down on their luck. Somebody who's always bumming off of people, borrowing money. It wasn't one of those situations. The dude was doing pretty good for himself as far as I thought. Just wasn't none of us rich. But wasn't none of us, you know what I mean? And I'm and that was the thing. I was I couldn't prove that he did it, but I knew how much money was there. And it was okay, I didn't mess with the guy for a long time, and we weren't dating or nothing. We were just friends who hung out together every now and then and just kicked it, drank, had some beers, played cards, dominoes, stuff like that. Ever since then, I'm you can't trust nobody. You can't trust nobody. I'm I've been knowing him for years. And what can I do? I could call the cops and say, this dude stole $100. Do you got proof, ma'am? It was
they make you feel
sometimes you gotta, sometimes you just gotta, charge it to the game. How they say charge it to the game? I had to charge that one to the game. But trust and believe, never came back over again after that. But that story came to mind when Sam was telling me about the lady who didn't trust her purse being in the same house with a guy that she was seeing. But if it was a guy, and ever since then, even if I have family over, even if I have friends over, I swear, I put my purse up. I put my money up. I put my purse up because I didn't have family still too. So it ain't just I didn't have family still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that.
So yeah, I put my stuff up, but taking it to a neighbor's house? Nah, I ain't going that far to say.
My son came out my purse. So me, I was I'm listening though, and I was
Kalui said, pack up and move into your house. Last she slide.
That shit, she would have been had that purse. Next thing I know, she wanted, when she came, if I would have been so simple to do it, if she came back to retrieve her purse, she probably been like, let me come in. Looking through it. Next thing I know, she want to watch TV. She want to use the phone. There would have been something to look up. It's 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. She sleepy. Y'all can't wake up or
Knock
something.
on your door at like 1 a.m. Can I get my purse back? No,
Heifer.
That purse staying here till the morning.
Oh, I done put it out the window.
You said throw it out the window. Just sit it on the ledge. Leave a note. Do not touch unless you are.
I can tell y'all something, though. One time when I was living in apartments, too, I had cleaned up and everything, and a friend of mine lived at the top of the hill. So after I cleaned up, I went up there, and we was drinking and stuff. And of course, we wanted to get some more. So I had some money at home I went to get, and my friend's cousin, my friend's boyfriend cousin said, oh, I walked down there with you. So I said, okay. So he walked up to my house, and no lie, I said, stay right here. And I forgot that I had an Avon book on my table with my Avon payment in it.
Oh.
And so, just like you said, when something click into you,
it'd be like too late.
It's like, yeah. But you know what? It wasn't like, we weren't like drunk, but we probably was going to get there. But when it clicked into me, because I always put my chairs on top of the table when I mop. And I remember I had the Avon book in there, and I had put the money in there because the lady was coming the next day as she got out of church to get the money. And I had some more stuff that I wanted to get. And when it clicked to me that this money was on this table in this book, I didn't even think I could see it. But something told me, and I was able to never got. I opened up that book, money gone.
See?
And I would just like you did,
you don't be thinking about it. You
him.
don't think that nobody is just going to steal from you. Like, you just don't think that, but that's why I am the way I am today.
And that's
today.
what we was all sitting there drinking and eating and everything. And if my memory serves me right, this person had no money. And we was buying everything.
So they probably needed. They probably, yeah.
But what it was,
went right to the store with you and was spending your money while y'all both at the store.
Because when you said the man left, that's what he did.
Oh, he left just like my case. Yeah.
But what I said,
I gotta go. I'll be right back.
There, yeah. And I went up there and I said something, and I told him, I know you got my money, but you know,
she's had temptation sometimes. All it takes. Yep.
And I know I could make him give it to me, but like I said, it was Avon, so I'm sure it wasn't no $50, $60, and more like I can't wear like the sprays or nothing like that.
$6, $7, $8, $12. They have some good stuff though.
And I used to always order them creams that go to the you know how they had you get the perfume, the powder. I just always used to get the cream and rub it on my feet. And so if anything, the most could have probably been there, and it probably wasn't even $20 if it was. But the point
and back then that was a lot of money though.
Yeah,
$20.
And I went right up the hill, just like you said, because you know who was. Well, nobody. My kids went home, nothing. Yep. I remember I got to cleaning up, and we went up there because we probably like 9 said we planned it, but this fool said I'll walk down there with you. And I probably went to the back from my one to get the money with her. Money was there.
And he probably just picked up the book like, oh, let me just, I'm going to sit here and wait. Yep. Let me just flip through this book while I'm waiting and see the money there. See?
I was like, this fool, I'm telling y'all, I know it wasn't no grip of money. If it was in it was probably $20-something. Because I used to always buy them creams, and I waited until you could buy so many and you get so many. So it might not even be that much, but the fact is that people will take anything. People will lie. They don't think things through before they start telling the story.
Like you was the only one there, and you just like in my case, you was the only one who went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I still see that person to this day. I still see this person to this day, and I don't say anything. Because I'm like, you know what? That was how many years ago? And if I remember, I know they remember. And it's like, I mean, I would think they would probably remember, but you never know.
But they know, like,
I remember everything.
Too.
I remember my family be tripping when I say, "Remember when we was 4? Remember when we was 5? Remember when this happened?" They're like, "Dang, Tanya, you remember all that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And I remember when we got in a fight and we did this, and I remember how I got this gap in between my teeth. One day I'm gonna tell y'all that story. How I got this gap in between my teeth. I wasn't born with a gap. My teeth didn't grow in a gap. I just, like some people, they just have a gap in between their teeth. They just, that's just how their teeth grew. And their parents just never got braces. One day I'm going to tell you the story on how I got the gap in my teeth.
Who said they was at the dentist on here?
That was Roxanne. She probably getting work done on her teeth right now.
Roxanne was at the dentist?
No, she can't be this late unless she's like in California or in emergency. Because it's like 9:55 here. It's like 7:55 in Cali. So yeah, unless she's probably done by now. Or had to go to emergency care. But yeah,
don't be over there talking about you want your teeth white.
I'll get one of those Invisaligns you put like for the braces and stuff. I might get one of those. I'm like, am I too old for braces?
Nope.
You don't think I'm too? I be seeing some people with I be seeing people with the traditional braces, and they be up there in age, and I be like,
shoot that thing. It's hard though.
I'm scared to get
it's
braces.
It's a hard trade, it's harder than a bleach tray. But I've been chewed the mess out that thing in my sleep.
You said it's 4:55 p.m. in Cali. Yep, they 3 out. Hold up, it's 9:55 here. It's only 4:55 in Cali. Where you at, Kalui? Oh, she's in Hawaii. You're in Hawaii, right? Yeah, see, she got a Hawaiian name, like Kalui. But okay, y'all. So
that
we
might
have
something to drink.
I know, like a Kahlua. Ain't there a drink called Kahlua or something? It is a drink called Kahlua and milk or something. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it was.
We know about our drinks, nah. Not like we drank a lot or anything. We just, when you get up there in the age, you done heard about every drink there is out there. But so we discussed the little girl that's missing, and y'all, people who come in late, if you watch the video over, just put in the comment section after the video what you think about that story, or if you think the story don't make sense, if you believe the story. And everybody, regardless of what we think, regardless if we think this is fake, like it was a setup, or like somebody intentionally hurt that girl in the family, please keep that baby in your prayers and on your mind. She is only 4 years old. Look her up. She's a 4-year-old girl, and her name is, excuse me, let me make sure I say it right, Maleah, Maleah Davis. Maleah Davis. 3 foot tall. She weighs 30 to 40 pounds. She was last seen in Houston wearing a light blue Under Armour jacket, blue jeans, gray Under Armour tennis shoes with pink and white details, and had a pink bow in her hair. So yeah, keep her in your prayers. Pray that little girl comes home safe and sound. Mm-hmm. Now, the other story we wanted to talk to you about happened in our hometown of Omaha, Nebraska last weekend. And let me pull that up real quick. It happened over Cinco de Mayo weekend. Kalui said, I know, poor baby. I just hope she returns home safe. Yep, she's in Hawaii. Yep. I hope she do too. I really do. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff breaks my heart. Any kind of abuse, whether physical, mental, verbal, done to a child, especially a small child that cannot defend themselves, that really breaks my heart. Like, it really breaks my heart. And it's even worse when it could happen from the hand of the person who's supposed to protect them. Like, as parents, we are supposed to not just raise our children, not just teach them right from wrong, and teach them manners, and teach them how to turn into productive citizens get them through high school. You know, that's not our only job. We're also supposed to protect our children from people who take advantage of children, from people who abuse children. So that hurts me the most is to when I know that it happened by the mother or the father or the grandparents or like what the heck? Them is the people who needs to be taken care of the way they take care of people overseas. Like, you know how you steal something overseas, they cut off your hand. You lie overseas, they cut out your tongue. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You rape somebody. Anywho, I'm gonna get off that subject because that is a very touchy subject for a lot of people. But anyway, let me tell y'all about this story that happened here, where we live in Omaha, Nebraska. Last weekend during Cinco de Mayo, a story had started trending on Facebook. In our local area. It's probably went a little further now because, you know, it hit the news and everything. But, and there was a specific Facebook post that has said what happened to a particular individual. But now that Facebook post has been deleted, the whole Facebook account has been deleted or either suspended. I don't know if you can suspend your Facebook or if you can delete your Facebook. But anyway, the account who posted the information is gone. It's gone. So we can't even go back and see what exactly was said on that post. But it was a really long post. And I'm just going to give you bits and pieces that I remember. And it was a post from a mother who had claimed that her daughter at Cinco de Mayo celebration last weekend in Omaha, Nebraska. Well, actually, it was in South Omaha because we have west, east, north, south, like most states. And it was in the Hispanic area community in South Omaha. And, I mean, other people live there too, but you know what I mean. It's majority like Hispanics and Mexicans and stuff like that. But, and that's where Cinco de Mayo is every year. Now, the mother had posted on her Facebook account that her daughter had got attacked and had got jumped by like 20 people, guys and girls, and was attacked. And she was able to run away or escape the attack and I guess run to her vehicle. And then while she was trying to get away, you know, from the scene or wherever, she jumped in her car, drove off, and ended up crashing the car. Ended up crashing the car. And crashing the car, they said she suffered some injuries, which, you know, you can probably expect, especially if she was maybe, you know, fleeing really fast or maybe speeding, just trying to get away from, you know, the people, the suspects or whoever was, you know, the attackers. And she was injured. And then they had said something to the effect of, and I don't have the post because it was deleted, the whole account. But it said something to the effect of the daughter had medical coverage or the mom had medical coverage or something like that. So they said, we're setting up a GoFundMe to help raise money for, not for like hospital bills or anything like that, but it was for repairs or to replace the car that was damaged. And a lot of people were speculating at that time, like, hold up, your daughter was attacked, she was injured, she drove off, she had an accident, she suffered injuries, but you're doing a GoFundMe to repair the car. And the mother has said something to the effect that the car wasn't her daughter's, the car wasn't even the mother's, the car was somebody else. I don't know if it was a family friend or something like that or a relative. But anyway, the car had got damaged because she wrecked. And so they wanted to raise money to fix the car or replace the car. I can't remember verbatim because, again, the person who
took it
made the
down.
post. They took it down.
See?
They shut the whole Facebook account down. Now I'm trying to find. Hold on. Let me.
That could not be true. That what the purpose of it they're going to use this money for. But I'm thinking more of. Wouldn't you think that they should do more of a GoFundMe for medical reasons, not to repair somebody's car? That if this child sounded like she wasn't even old enough to be driving, why would she have people's car? Why would she have your car?
Right. And so a lot of people were giving, like that GoFundMe, it was getting money. That people was giving, because they were feeling bad, because they thinking this girl got jumped by 20 people who were guys and girls, and she wrecked the car trying to get away. So people was like, feeling sorry, like, oh my God, the least I can do is give some money, right? Now, I'm going to read this because our Omaha Police Department made a post on their police Facebook channel, and I'm going to read this to you, okay? And y'all tell me, what y'all believe. And this is local news from our hood, okay? Mm-hmm. So, the Omaha Police said, they posted May 8th at 3:37 p.m. There has been some messaging circulating around social media about an assault near the Omaha Cinco de Mayo event last weekend. I want to make sure you're in the picture. Last weekend. We want to take a few minutes to explain what our detectives found while investigating this case. On Saturday, May 4th, 2019, at 9:15 p.m., Omaha police responded to a property damage accident at 23rd and F Street, which is in South Omaha. It was determined that a 14-year-old female driving a Dodge Caliber was driving north on 23rd Street and ran the stop sign, colliding with a Jeep that was traveling eastbound on F Street. The 14-year-old female complained of head and hand pain and said she had been fleeing from a physical altercation prior to the accident. OFD medics transported the female to Nebraska Medical Center. Officers issued a juvenile street release citation to the 14-year-old for no driver's license and failure to yield right away. Officers continue to follow up on the 14-year-old female's claim of being assaulted by a large group. Investigators have determined that the 14-year-old female and other juvenile females made arrangements to meet up and fight. This fight was captured on video and shared on social media. During the conclusion of the fight, the 14-year-old female fled in the vehicle that she eventually crashed at 23rd and F Street. She received minor injuries during the incident. Initial claims that a large crowd followed the vehicle and beat on the vehicle were determined to be false. Officers have interviewed one of the juvenile females involved in the fight with the 14-year-old female. That female has been juvenile street released for third-degree assault. The 14-year-old female will face additional charges of third-degree assault and false information. Officers are still attempting to identify the third female involved in the altercation. And of course, anyone with information is urged to call Omaha Crime Stoppers at 402-444-STOP or at www.omahacrimestoppers, all one word, .org. Now, this is what I want to show y'all next. Let me see. Okie dokie. Here we go. All right. I'm going to play something for y'all real quick. Here we go. Excuse me. I think I'm catching a little cold. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can play this for you real quick. Hopefully it won't mess up. Let me turn the added sound down. Okay, I'm gonna play the video for you again, and you have to. Okay, let me pause it and go back. Hold on, y'all. I don't know how well y'all were able to watch that, but if you watch it very closely, you see that there is somebody being jumped. And hold on, I gotta put it on the white screen again. Okay, there's somebody being jumped, but it's actually only two girls that's doing the jumping. Mm-hmm. And the girl who was getting jumped, she was on the ground, on the concrete, on the ground, looked like she was covering herself. And it was a girl who was punching down on her, and then it was a girl who was kicking her. But that's it. Now, there are claims of other videos being out there from different areas at the Cinco de Mayo event. If anybody's watching who was at the event or know of any other details, please feel free to comment in the chat and let me know like what point of view you were at the event or anything like that. But basically, yeah, it is awful, Miss Sislo, regardless of how many people jumped the girl, regardless if it was 20, if it was boys or men, or if it was just two people, like this particular video showed. But hey, Diary of hey lady, that's our Omaha friend there. Yes, go Huskers. Go Huskers. But yeah, so that was a video of what happened. Now the thing about it is though that the police, gave her a citation, the little girl, for lying and falsifying information, claiming that she was being chased and that people were beating on the car that she was driving and led her to crash the car. And then on top of that, the police, I guess, are still looking for proof that she was actually jumped by a multitude of people instead of just the two people that they're saying who jumped her.
That's Samantha.
Yes, this is Sammy D, y'all.
Hi.
My sister from another mister. But, yeah, so this happened in our city, in Omaha, Nebraska. In South Omaha, south of here in Omaha, Nebraska. And it's being seen all over the internet.
Like fights.
I don't like fights either. The only reason why I showed it was because this was one of the videos, a close-up of the fight. And you can see that it was two people, fighting with this girl, instead of the 20 or so men and girls that the girl claimed, that she claimed. So now there's other issues here because people locally who have been giving to that GoFundMe, they claim like, okay, the girl, did she lie about getting jumped by all these people? And then when we find out the girl is 14 years old and the police saying they made an appointment. They made an appointment. Okay, now I was talking to Sam and I'm like, okay, some people know all about this growing up, especially, in the hood or whatever. And somebody don't like you or somebody doesn't like somebody and they arrange. Meet me at the park. Meet me at the playground. Meet me at the bus stop. Meet me under the bridge. Meet me, and they plan to meet to go fight. Now, if you meet somebody to go fight and it might not be no one-on-one. That's for sure. It might not be no one. I was telling Sam earlier, like, when we used to get into it when we was younger, if I knew that somebody was coming to fight me, trust me, I was not going to be alone. Me and my cousin was telling a story. We was at her house the other day, and we were telling a story to somebody about one time she had these girls who didn't like her for some reason. And this was probably about, I want to say maybe 10 years ago. Maybe 10 years ago. And we was kicking it over her house, and all of a sudden, these girls came driving by. She's like, them girls who would sweat me, one day at the grocery store, and they was cussing at me. She said, I don't even know them girls. And I was like, for real? And I was like, okay, well, we got to keep our eye on because we kicking it outside. Next thing we know, the time of the night grew later, and we decided to go over my house for whatever reason. She was like, I want to go over your house. We get down to my house, and we sitting on my porch. And next thing I know, this car rides by. And matter of fact, I was in the house. She was on the porch. My cousin was on the porch. And this car rides by. And she comes yelling and screaming in the house. Tanya, them girls is outside. They deep. I'm like, what is you talking about? They at my house? I don't know them bras. So I go outside and I'm looking. And they kept driving past the house real slow. And then they would drive around the block and come back through real slow. And it reminds me of that movie Friday when Smokey like, drive by when Craig is smoking. And they all took off and ran behind the house. But anywho, I was like, okay, obviously these girls coming to do something to you. So, back then I was still in that rah age. I might have been grown, but one thing for sure, you ain't gonna roll up at my house. And I'm going to be sitting inside the door ducking behind the window. So, yeah, we got our sneakers on. We went outside and stood on the sidewalk. The girls drove by one more time, and then they left. They just left. And so, but what we did was we called. All you got to do is make one phone call in our family, and everybody was there. We had about 15 cars in front of my house within 20 minutes, guys and girls, and ladies and men, because that's how we roll. That's how our family roll, okay? That's how we roll. But, nothing ended up happening, and the girls we never saw them again. But it's just the point, getting back to this story of this little girl, when you make arrangements to go fight somebody, you don't never know what you might walk up on. Now, thank God this girl wasn't more seriously injured.
Right.
Or killed.
That's what I'm thinking about. Like, if you gonna, like, nowadays,
thank you, Diaries. Back me up, sweetheart. She from Omaha. That's how we do. People be sleeping on Omaha. I'm telling you, they just think we some country hick town with one black person living here.
And cornfields.
And we still tipping cows.
And there's black people there. They was actually
sure. If there are black people here, we still walking through the back door or some stuff.
Now we gotta get permission to enter.
We gotta get permission to enter. May I enter?
You can go around the back.
Massa, can I please enter?
You can go through the patio, though. But no, I think that nowadays people always, I hear this a lot, and it's not just kids saying it. People will say, drop the location. And when I'm about to pull up, I pull up on you. Okay, you got to be just an ignorant person to really tell somebody, I'm at so-and-so, such and such. This is, this is my location. Pull up.
Never tell your house location.
Somebody, your job, you walking
Never
down
tell
the
your
street,
job.
wherever you at. Okay.
Meet me at McDonald's.
Even if that. Okay, say somebody.
I'm just playing, y'all.
Say,
this was back in the day me. This ain't today me, but
nowadays I be hearing it a lot. Like sometimes I get caught up reading on that Facebook. That's why I've been disciplining myself for the last couple of weeks. I had to break myself from that. Reading on it, reading with this, every post and everything that I say. And the main thing I hear, and this is more female than male, drop your location because we'll pull up. Okay, first of all, why it's got to be we? If you got a problem with this person, don't recruit other people to go with you because that's how people lose their life.
But somebody, they will recruit because they got to make sure if they show up somewhere, they better have some backup.
But a lot of
you still don't never know. Somebody can blow your brains out.
What's your address? What's your location?
That'd be the last location in your cell phone. That'd be the last location that Google shows in your cell phone.
I'm like, pull up. Like, the funniest thing, it was not this, well, yeah, it was the 4th of July that just passed. And my sister is like, she's my second to the older sister. And we met my cousin at the lake. And my cousin's daughter told my sister, she said, where y'all at? And my sister was like, oh, we ain't there yet, but we almost. So my cousin's daughter said, well, what's y'all location so we can pull up? So my sister called me, and she said, you know what I'm talking about, too. And she said, girl, so-and-so just said, what's our location so they can pull up? What the H is pull up?
Because it can mean two separate things. We pulling up on y'all because I say
but
that
if
to
you
people.
Know my sister,
we about to
you'll
pull
be
up.
Like,
what's a pull up?
She was like, yeah, because she telling me something. Where y'all at? Ask the location. And my sister just like, I said, she want to know where we at so they can come over here with us. Why the she could just say that? My sister must have went off. She was like, okay, what? Not off in a bad way.
She don't know a lot of the slang, the street terminology.
Yeah. She told me, she was like, that's why I'm not even talking to her. Because sometimes, if and my sister got a lot of sense to me. But one thing that day was, it was the 4th of July. You know, you was like, I remember we was at Family Dollar. And my sister called me and she said, show me some where y'all at. What's the location so we can pull up?
She's like, what's the pull up?
I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard. So when we get down to the lake, she was like, yeah, tell them so they can pull up. I laughed so hard. It's still funny to me. I don't care
Lord
what.
have mercy. Because
I don't care what nobody said. If you know, if you know her.
I know what you're talking about.
Like puzzle.
It's one of those you had to be there things.
She was puzzled like the girl said. Pull up and drop your heart off.
Because when most people say pull up, they mean like, I know back in the day, a lot of people say we about to pull up and pop the trunk. That's what a lot of people say back in the day. We gonna pull up and pop the trunk. But like, still people use that term. Like, because I'm ready. Yeah. Like, I say that a lot. Matter of fact, my other cousin, last weekend, I was at her house. We was chilling on her patio all evening. And I had called her and I said, what y'all doing? She's like, oh, we just kicking it on the patio, finished grilling. I said, all right, I'm about to pull up. So, you know, some people say that.
I would have thought
we
they was
instead of come through or
yeah.
Because some people like, I'm about to come over. It's just
you
a little that hood terminology. That hood terminology.
But my sister was like, if y'all wanted to laugh that day, oh my God, let's just kick the 4th of July off. She was like,
Thank
I ain't
you,
got
they
time for
always
all
ask,
that.
"Are there
Just
black
say
people
that.
in Nebraska?" I tell them we are everywhere. Yep, slavery is over. Then they will ask me about the Huskers and the black players like they were shipped in. Diaries, you ain't never lied. I swear. The thing I hate the most is when you talking on the phone for your job, and maybe if it's customer service or something, and they can tell. I tell y'all all the time, I try not to be stereotypical, but some things are just the way it is. And sometimes you can talk to somebody on the phone and you can tell they are they black. You can just tell by the way they talk. And so he could tell I was black, and he was like, "Where are you located?" I said, "Omaha." What? Black people. Now this happened, and I had posted this on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, but I posted it on Facebook like a month ago. I said, I cannot believe in 2019 somebody asked me over the phone, and this was my job. I was talking to somebody on the phone, and they asked me, "Is there really black people in Omaha, Nebraska?" I mean, back when I worked telemarketing, when I was like a teenager.
When I be in Atlanta.
I get it. When I was a teenager, that was, a long time ago. But now, in 2019, are there black people in Omaha, Nebraska? Like, the only thing they think of is corn and fields and our football team. They know black people on the football team. They know that much. But I guess that's the only place they're supposed to be in Nebraska is on the football team. Everybody else in the state is white.
Creighton, though. I have had people ask me about Creighton. Now, I told you go down Creighton, get basically almost any kind of degree you want, but you got to come to Nebraska with the cornfields.
Yeah.
And I told sometimes it be miles before we see one.
Yeah, if you're traveling, because most people who travel through Nebraska, you're on the interstate. So you're on the outskirts. You are miles and miles from the city. Because around Omaha is the largest city in Nebraska, and we right on the border of Iowa. So if you come in from like the west through Nebraska, you might not even ever run into Omaha, because it's a whole bunch of small towns all through the rest of the state, and they're surrounded by thousands and thousands of miles. Well, not thousands, but hundreds and hundreds of miles of cornfields, cows, chickens, horses, things like that. But oxes, things like that. So yeah, most people who come through Nebraska, if they like traveling on a trip or going to visit family, they might not ever see Omaha, depending on which way you come through the state. So that's why people think there's black people, because I'm sure all y'all see in them outskirts, there's white people on the farms. Because
once I was in Atlanta, I had a Nebraska Cornhusker shirt. And this man asked me, he is like, he asked me about the Huskers, and I was like, "Oh, I just live there." He was like, "You live where?" And I was like, "In Nebraska." Because I have Nebraska, it said something about the corn. I forgot what the shirt said, but it was like Nebraska Huskers. They had a corn husker. Like a
corn husk or something.
Yeah. I was just like, knowing me, I was looking at man, I remember it too. And I was right there because it was in that little thing where you buy that expensive stuff.
Yeah.
After you go through TSA.
Mm-hmm.
We was up in that little, one of them shops, and he was like, asked me a question, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, no, it probably was on sale, but it was mine. But nothing, or probably got it from
like,
Walmart, $9.99. So, yeah,
and the people from down south, they call it Nebraska. You from Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Nebraska, or I don't know. But diaries. Like, people, like I said, people be sleeping on Nebraska. How many times have you heard Nebraska be called Neblastia? Remember when they first came out with that? When all the gangs had started populating up here, the late 80s, the early 90s, the early 2000s, they called it Neblastia. Neblastya. Neblastia. They even made a rap song. A rap song about Omaha, called it Omaha Neblastia. I was like, not bragging about our crime or anything like that, but it's just that a lot of people think We're just a small place in Nebraska. Nobody really has a life here. We
all they want to do is gangbang and shuck corn.
But yeah, it gets real up here, just like any other city. The only thing that's different from us between Chicago, LA, Miami is just we are a smaller city. But the thing is, when you have a smaller city with a whole bunch of crime, the percentage can equal like Chicago. I remember one year the crime was here so bad. So many people were murdered within like the first 3-4 months of the year. Mm-hmm. And it was like we had like 60 unsolved murders before even the half of the year. Now in a smaller city, we a big city, but we on a small scale compared to St. Louis, Chicago. But the percentage wise was almost equal to the crime rate for murders in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So that just lets you know Chicago might be a huge city with a lot of crimes, but just the ratio, I hope I'm saying this right. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. The ratio from the population to the crime rate, the murders had equaled the same percentage ratio in Chicago of people who live there in the murders. So it's all about the ratio and the percentage compared to how many people live there and how many people get murdered. It don't matter how big your city is. They go by the ratio when they do like the crime statistics and stuff. So yeah, we was up there for many years. We was up there, and I'm so glad we not up there anymore, because it used to be a very bad time here in Omaha where people didn't want to go out, didn't want to go to the clubs, didn't want to go nowhere, didn't want their kids outside or kept them close to the house. It was bad. She said, Diary said, yep, I remember. Ladies, gotta recharge. Subscribe to the channel. Good to see you, ladies. Stay blessed. Thank you, Diaries. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscriing.
Congratulations on your new grandbaby.
Yes, congratulations on your new grandbaby. But yeah, so that just gives you a little background, a little history of, our hood, where we from or whatnot. But as far as also that story with the girl who was jumped, excuse me, on the police post that they had posted saying that she had got charged. A few of those people who were fighting got charged, and they still looking for the third one. But under the post, one lady, I guess she was kind of upset because she didn't like what was said in the police post. And what did she say? Let me read it right here. I don't want to say her name. I do not want to say her name. But let me go to new comments. Go view more comments. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna say this lady's name. Now, if she was to call in, I would say, call in and state your name. But I'm not gonna. I'm trying to find her first post, her first comment, because she commented a lot on here, on this page. Okay, here we go. And then the police I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's the police replied. I'm going to just say whoever runs this page, I don't know if it's somebody who works at the police station or like their publicist or, something like that. But here we go. Now, this lady, she said that the police never gave, she's like best friends. This lady who spoke up on the police post, she said, they never gave my friend's daughter a citation, the one who got jumped. So that is false information. I think her mother and her would have known if she had received a citation. And then underneath that, somebody else said, it says that she will face additional charges, so they will probably just add it on at her first court appearance. Then somebody else said, it says that she will face charges. Didn't say she was cited. Not saying that this is correct or not, just saying what it says. And then the Omaha Police Department made a comment, and it said, if you have any questions regarding charges, talking to the lady who was, making comments, if you have any questions regarding charges, we will be happy to clarify them. Her mother, referring to the 14-year-old girl, her mother can contact the detective working the case, or you can direct message them here, and we can help put you in contact with the appropriate person. And I had made a comment. I said, we gonna be on the hood table tonight discussing this topic if you want to call in. I sure did, and I put the link. but and then she said she has screenshots proving that she did not agree nor want to fight. Maybe if I could post pics on this thread. And then somebody else said, but she showed up where the fight was set to happen. Right. That makes no sense. And then the lady who originally started commenting, the friend of the daughter, mother, she said she got set up by a so-called friend. And then somebody said, this is what happens when we believe everything our teenagers tell us.
Yeah.
Yup.
She could have or she couldn't have, but I think that by her showing up, if she felt, even if it did happen, once she had an accident, she probably should have told the police, at one point, tell this call with the whole truth. Now you got to go through a whole bunch of hoops and get it out there instead of waiting.
Right, and until she's actually, standing in front of the court and, we don't know all the specifics right now. These are just, what we're reading, what we're hearing. The lady who is a friend of the child, who is a friend of the parent of the child.
Where's the
who
parent
friends with the child's mother?
Instead of the friend. That's what they need to be talking.
Right. The friend of the family said, Omaha Police Department, why can't I post a video? But somebody had posted a video. That's where I got that video from. Was on the Omaha Police Department new page. And it said, why can't I post a video? I have been friends with this girl's mother over 25 years. Okay. OPD has video proof she was jumped. I have one of the videos. I will try and link it somehow. I can't upload pics or vids in this thread. I'm going to post on my page and share the link. So here's her link. Then somebody said, just what you said. Where are the parents in this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Hold on. Let me go to this lady's page. And then, hold on. Let me read y'all one last comment from the Omaha Police Department. They said, shoot. Let's see down here. Hold on. I done backed out and then have to go all the way back in. Okay, here we go. I just want to read the comment that the Omaha Police Department has said after that. This is crazy. This is real crazy. It's so many stories out there from this incident. Okay, the Omaha Police Department said, our detectives are aware that there was a physical altercation and that video was captured. 2 of the individuals involved in the altercation have been cited. We continue to follow up this case and encourage anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 402-444-STOP. And then they put, thank you. Now, again, I'm not going to say the lady's name who was making all these comments on the police post. If she happens to be watching, she can always call in or post in the comments that she wants to call in. But on her page, she did have, made a statement on her page saying that she was, friends of the lady whose daughter was jumped, and she's claiming that she was set up. But there are people who are saying that she agreed to fight. But the bigger thing is a lot of people is like, okay, so now the story isn't making sense. The police is saying this, people are saying this and that, and people want to know the real story because there was a GoFundMe out there, and people are was putting money into the GoFundMe. We can't find none of that now, and the mother of the child who was in the fight, her channel is gone. It's like it was deleted. The post was deleted. Everything. Trying to raise money, and so some people is like, okay, was this post just to get money to fix this car? Because we know from the police report that the girl didn't have a license. She was 14 years old, out there driving. She wasn't with an adult. That's even too young to get a driver's permit, ain't it? Because you got to be like 15 to get a learner's permit.
I think they make it with so many miles.
Yeah.
So many log miles.
Right, and then there was no insurance.
Driver person. Person got a license.
And the police said there was no insurance on the car. So a lot of people is thinking like, okay, is this some kind of scam? Not saying the girl didn't get in the fight because we saw the video, but as far as raising the money, like, is this some kind of scam to pay for this car? The child was driving the car. She shouldn't have been driving. The person who's the rightful owner of the car doesn't have any insurance, or either the insurance is not covering it because somebody was driving a car who shouldn't be and who was too young, underage, no license,
no permit, nothing.
No, without permission to drive that car. So is it like the person, the rightful owner, is trying to get money to get that car fixed? Like I was talking to Sam earlier, I'm like, that's like me, allowing your child to drive my car, knowing they don't have no insurance. The car doesn't have any insurance. That child doesn't have a license, but you let that child drive that car, and then they wreck it. So what am I supposed to do? Mm-hmm. Like, personally, if you let a child drive your car, unless it was stolen. Now, if it was stolen, that's something different. Mm-hmm. If the car was stolen, but if you willingly let a child underage drive the car with no insurance, no license, and then you set up a GoFundMe? Like, GoFundMes are not for situations like that. GoFundMes are for, and see, that's what me and Samantha said. We're going to do a video on GoFundMes.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. She suggested that tonight. We're going to do a video on GoFundMe. Because too many people, and I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just doing commentary on everything that we have seen and heard. So I'm just giving my opinion. Those are, GoFundMes are for serious issues. If people get laid off, if people get injured, if people are killed, if people
need a medical,
they house burn up, medical assistance, they have cancer, they have GoFundMes are usually for something that is unpreventable. That's what GoFundMes are usually for. Things that are unpreventable. You let a young child drive your car and wreck it, and you set up a GoFundMe. I mean, first of all, there's a lot of errors in the way somebody was thinking, because ain't no child gonna be driving my car that's 14 or 15 with no license, and I don't have insurance. You don't have insurance on the car.
I'm scared to do it.
I'm scared to drive myself if I didn't have insurance on my car.
And
I keep insurance. I got full cover. We got insurance on every car in the house.
Yeah.
Regardless if we want to pay it or not, we got insurance on every car in the house, because it's not always you. Like I teach both of my sons defensive driving. It's not always you. You have to look out for other people who are not paying attention. So that's what a lot of people are. I mean, they made a lot of comments on that post about the GoFundMe and the person who let the child drive their car. So, but when you put stuff out there like that, you gotta just know that you might get some people who are skeptical, about that. And
yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because we've been told that. But I want to say though, that GoFundMe will be the next one we talk about.
Yep, it'll be the next one we
talk
about.
Ones and the good and the bad of it.
Right.
And how sometimes when stuff start off being good, people get a hold of it and they see the good of it, and it's always something, not always, but a lot of times wicked stuff come about, and people's minds start to wonder, like, okay, if you can get people to give this and this and this for that, then I'm going to try this, but they anticipate the same as the other. There it is. So we'll talk about that. That'll be what we're doing next
But
time.
the thing that kills most people, including me, is you make this post on your Facebook. My daughter was this, she was jumped, and then 20 people, whatever, and then she crashed the car, and we setting up a GoFundMe. We need this car fixed or replaced. And then when people start questioning and inquiring, and the police statement come out saying some of this stuff was lies, and that the girl got in a fight and she had made an arrangement to go fight. To go fight, and now y'all want money to replace a car or fix a car that the child should have never been driving in the first place. That whole post is gone. The Facebook page is gone. I mean, so that makes people think like, okay, so was this just some scam?
Y'all can't do that.
So y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know what I think. I'm just doing commentary, whether it's from Omaha or whether it's from China. When I do commentary on a particular subject, I just state what's heard, what's said, and what's in the blogs or on the news, and y'all give me y'all feedback and let me know how y'all feel about the situation. But anywho, we about to wrap this up, y'all. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for everybody, chopping it up with us in the chat. Sam, I'm about to get her in the bed. She was at work today and she got to work tomorrow. See, I'm off this weekend. I got some Mother's Day cake orders that I do have to do. But other than that, I'm off this weekend. Still don't know what I'm doing for Mother's Day. You said you don't know really what you're doing either. I say we both go out and just eat, make the kids pay for it.
I want to go to
shoot. Like, for real. I told my son, well, my son already knows what I always want for Mother's Day, and that's like, he goes to Bath and Body, and he gets me a whole bunch of stuff. He just gives me a whole bunch of stuff. Or a gift certificate. He gives me a gift certificate to Bath and Body because he knows I love my lotions, my sprays, my candles, all that. So he loves doing that. My whole dresser just full of Bath and Body sprays, everything. So I was like, hey, what you gonna get me for Mother's Day? What you always want. And I'm like, you sure you know what I want? Yeah, we know what you want. I'm like, so, but other than that,
son,
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
The graduate boy.
Oh, yeah, my son, that's her nephew. He graduates next Thursday. We're going to be there deep. I'm so happy.
To get up in there.
We went
he ain't gonna be at no more graduations. I'm be like, y'all better check him. I'm be the one on the side with the computer shaking.
We that family, the school be like,
go back.
Please nobody applause to the very end.
Go back.
And everybody up there, yeah. Like you at a football game.
One time we went, I was like,
people be loud. I be like, dang. And then when we get up there, I'm like, we ain't as loud as them.
Huh?
I'll be like, we don't be as loud as some people.
One time we went, I don't know, I must have been somebody's kid graduation or something. These people, I was like,
they screaming like they on their fifth degree.
Tie that section down or something.
They screaming like they on their fifth degree. But you know what? It is a blessing. Me and my son, we went to the school today to purchase a whole bunch of tickets. So that we can give them out to people. I should have pulled
up on them.
And one of the men who work in the school, he was talking to my son. He was like, man, y'all out of here. How does it feel? He's like, it feels good. And then when he found out he had a Fulbright scholarship, the Buffett scholarship, he was like, oh my God. Like, this scholarship is huge, y'all. The I think it's Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation, Warren Buffett's one of the richest men in the world.
That's
his sister.
Okay.
And she has a college foundation, and every year they give out a certain amount of people from Nebraska Fulbright scholarship to any school in Nebraska that they want to go to. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, oh my God, Mom, I don't know which one of y'all should be more excited, but I know you excited. I'm like, heck yeah. And the man was like, you might not even get it right now, but when you finish college and you look back and you don't owe nobody one red cent,
Me?
Man, like me too. I got college loans.
Money you owe me back.
I got college loans, so I still owe. I'm still paying on college loans every month. But to look back and say, I got this degree, now I got this great job, and I don't owe nobody, that's a real accomplishment. That's a big deal. So, yeah, I'm proud mama. Proud mama bear.
Congratulations. But I'm still going to check and make sure everything add up. Somewhere I'm drawing a blank.
No, that's funny because when we went to the school today, and I was going in there to when we first walked up to the building, I said, "You sure you don't owe any fines or anything?" Because heck, when I graduated and when my oldest son graduated, that dude owed like $150 worth of fines. It was lost books, lost library books, lost.
My car for Marcel, my oldest son. I remember that.
He owed so much money. They wrote some of it off, not like wrote it off, but they took some of it off because I'm like, I swear we turned stuff in. Like I swear we turned stuff in, but because we couldn't prove all of it. They knocked some of the charges off, but it still was like $100 that I had to pay to get him. I said, "Do I really want this boy to graduate? I want my $100." Sure. I'm like, mm-mm. So when he walked in there today, I was like, "Okay, you sure you don't owe any fines?" And then we went to.
I wish I'd have been there. I said, check.
Girl,
he used to sneak books home in kindergarten. Check him.
He did not.
I'd be like, go all the way back.
When I went to the treasurer's office to buy the tickets, I said, now he's really graduating, right? And he's really getting a scholarship, right? They was like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, it's still like, I don't know. Some people like, yeah, they got a scholarship. Some people don't really like, I don't know, probably wouldn't understand how big of a feeling or how great that is for you to have a full ride scholarship. But I'm like, I'm bathing in all this excitement. But anyway, y'all. Anyway,
I'll make sure they check them.
I want to see that diploma in the envelope now. But yeah,
oh yeah, because they would just give you the little
the envelope or the. Oh, they did that to me when I graduated from high school. When I graduated from high school, and I think I told this story before, but when I graduated from high school, I owed some fines, and at that time I wasn't living at home. I was still going to school every day. Graduated at the top of my class, but when I walked across that stage, they gave me a blank envelope. Nobody else knew. I knew, but nobody else knew. And then after I paid the fines, I think I paid the fines like a month later because I was working somewhere like McDonald's or somewhere like that. I paid that fine and I went back and they gave me my diploma because I'm like, I'm getting that. And the fine, I think it was like $60 or $75, something like that. But, back then, we wasn't making a lot of money back then. I was working part-time at McDonald's. And I was just out there taking care of myself any way I could. So I graduated. I walked across that stage and everything and went back and paid my fine and got my diploma. Like, yep, it's mine. I earned it. I deserve it. But, yep. So, anyway, you guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Is there any last minute things you want to say about anything we talked about? No? Okay. Well, we'll be back tomorrow on my main channel, Tanya's Primetime TV Media Reviews. I'll be back over there tomorrow with you guys, probably tomorrow evening or during the day. I'm off tomorrow. I'll be working on cake orders, so I might go live while I'm working on some cakes. So you never know. But anyway, you guys, in the meantime and in between time, Primetime Squad and the Hood Table, stay blessed, stay safe, and we out. Deuces. Deuces up, y'all. Deuces up.